Oh, hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar. Happy Sunday. Today is, I think, our very first Facebook Live for the year 2023. So we apologize if you have missed our Facebook Lives and or our newsletters. Thank you for reaching out and letting us know that we haven't done one yet. So lots been going on here, so I don't want to make any apologies. And again, I also apologize first for the volume. I forgot my microphone today, but I wanted to get this information out to you right away because in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, we've got a brand new series of Two Anatomy Geeks starting, and it's all about rotation. And if you saw me there, I was just practicing my pickleball swing because I've been hooked on pickleball, and pickleball, like most sports, golf, tennis, baseball, running, most sports are rotary sports, meaning that there's a high component or a large component of rotation. And if we think about our older clients, we train mostly older clients as part of our clinic, or in our clinic, I should say. And many of you that are part of our community, you also train older folks. Now, older folks is relative. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm gonna be 54. So I'm part of that older folks. In fact, at Lifetime, where I belong, there's a group called the Aurora Group. So essentially that's the older population. So I asked one of the concierge, I'm like, how old is do you have to be part of the Aurora Group? She's like, 55. So I'm like, are you saying like I'm 1 year away from being part of this Aurora Group? She's like, yes, you are. So yeah, so rotation is, I should say, age is relative. So one of the things we want to do with our clients or help our clients is improve rotation, because as we talked about, rotation is life. Even things, a simple activity like walking is all about rotation. You're rotating through your spine, you're rotating through your hips, you're rotating through your neck as well to keep your eyes relatively level to the horizon, as well as if you want to scan the horizon, if you're looking for cars, if you're crossing the street, or looking to play sports and you're turning to turn towards the action. So everything, or most things in life, is rotation. If we look at one of the main ranges of motion that get lost as we age, it is rotation. Rotation is often the first range of motion that we lose. And if we think about something like walking, simple activity of walking, if you watch a lot of our older clients, again, older is relative, we see some of our younger clients doing this as well. They no longer have the ability to rotate, keeping their head forward. They have no longer, or they've lost the ability to rotate their pelvis over top their femoral head. So what happens is they no longer rotate. So what we start to see them doing is going through the frontal plane. They make up for the lack of rotation through the frontal plane. If you lose rotation, hello, Mary Trilla, long time no talk. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, thank you for everybody joining us. I apologize, I didn't say that earlier in the beginning. So if you look at the ranges of motion, so sagittal plane motion, if you look at frontal plane motion, if you look at rotation, rotation is often the first range of motion that we lose. And if you play rotation sports, that's really where you start to see how well you are conditioned and how well you produce and or control rotation. So one of the things we're going to do in our brand new series of Two Anatomy Geeks coming up in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about the anatomy of a rotation and really break it down and make it simple for you. So we'll talk about some of the myofascial chains, like the anterior and posterior oblique chains, that help create those huge amounts of rotation. Obviously, most muscles contribute some way to rotation. However, we want to back up just a little bit and talk about what helps us create rotation, what allows us to maintain rotation. One of the keys to maintaining rotation is the ability to align your trunk and spine, that thoracopelvic cylinder. So from your first rib, which is right behind your clavicle, all the way down to your ischial tuberosities, the cylinder. This is where most of our rotation, including the hip as well, this is where most of our rotation should come from. Yes, the knee should rotate. Yes, the lumbar spine should rotate. Yes, our shoulders need to rotate. However, when we're developing, or should say training and developing to maintain rotation and or improve rotation, this is where we want to focus first. First, align that thoracopelvic cylinder. So you see me, a lot of people will say, what's that funny thing you always do with your head and neck and your torso? I'm trying to get my head and neck and torso aligned. So I align that cylinder. That allows us to then lengthen to create an optimal axis of rotation, almost as if you have a vertical axis running through the top of your head, down through your spine, down through your tailbone. Now, I get it. We don't rotate on a perfect vertical axis. It's not like that. But it's the best way to help your clients understand where rotation should happen, because we see a lot of our clients and a lot of us, when we rotate, we start to side bend too much. We should have a little side bend. We should have a little bit of side bend and rotation. They sort of couple, those two motions couple together, but we don't want to see a lot of side bending when somebody's just doing or going through a range of motion like rotation. We want to see a pretty clean and vertical axis maintained and rotation happening around that axis. Similarly, when we stand, put your hands on your pelvis, watch yourself in the mirror when you have time, rotate on your hips. So move your pelvis and your cylinder over top your femoral head. So you're rotating your cylinder and your pelvis around your femoral head. You want to see relative maintaining of that vertical axis and rotating around that lower extremity. What we often see with our clients is we see too much translation as they rotate or too much translation as they try to rotate, so they're not maintaining that optimal axis of rotation. So one of the things we're going to focus on as we help our clients improve rotation is how do we help our clients better align that thoracopelvic cylinder. One of the first things we need to do, myofascial release. We have to myofascial release where our clients are stiff or stuck and or are gripping. Oftentimes, our clients grip from their low back, so that takes them out of that cylinder alignment. Some of our clients grip from their shoulders, so they pull the shoulders down. That will also take them out of that optimal axis of rotation, or that alignment, I should say, which then changes the axis of rotation, and it limits how far they can rotate. So first, myofascial release. Well, back up just one more step. We have to teach our clients to assess our clients to find out where they've lost range of motion. So yes, hip range of motion is oftentimes compromised. Thoracic rotation is oftentimes compromised. And then we do our myofascial release as part of our corrective exercise strategy to help our clients better get into a better position to align. Then we have to teach them how to rotate. So one of the patterns we use, I'll just stand here and do it, but we'll go into a quadruped position. Just imagine my hands are down on the floor. We'll cross one arm over. We'll teach them to breathe in, breathe out, and rotate. So we're teaching them how to create that long axis and then rotate around that long axis. So breathe in, breathe out, and rotate. I just did a video for Instagram on this very concept. So you can check out Instagram, Discover IMI for that video demonstration as well. We also have to integrate this into our functional patterns. So you can do something like a chop pattern. So you're teaching your client how to better align head and neck, thoracopelvic cylinder, and then teach them how to do a simple chop pattern. So they're learning how to control rotation, rotate around the hips, incorporate a little bit of thoracic rotation, but be relatively well controlled. So maintaining that alignment, that vertical axis, keeping their head looking forward, and then rotating around that axis. So first, your corrective exercises, a myofascial release, breathing to create that pure, teaching them how to create pure axial rotation. Then you incorporate a functional pattern like some of your chop patterns with a medicine ball and or cable resistance. But you also have to teach your client, or I should say, then finally you have to teach your client how to develop rotary power. So especially if they're playing sports like baseball, pickleball, and or tennis, you need to develop some rotary power so that way you can actually accelerate the club if you're playing golf or baseball, or the bat if you're playing baseball, and or even your racket if you're playing tennis and or pickleball. So we have to teach them also then how to develop power. So it's really the same concept. The only difference is we're still loading up so that developing that eccentric or that lengthening phase, stretching that rubber band out, so that way we let the object go. So we're teaching them how to, didn't break anything there. Almost did. Sorry, JB. So we want to develop rotary power, letting objects go, so that way we're teaching our client how to not just decelerate, but then also how to let things go so we drive that rotational power. So we're going to discuss that along with anatomy, the myofascial chains, some of the hip rotators that all contribute to collectively improving, I should say maintaining, and thus using these concepts, these anatomy concepts and biomechanic concepts to improve rotation in our clients. So if you train the general population, this series is for you. If you love anatomy, even if you don't love anatomy, we are anatomy geeks. My fellow colleague Jill and I, we're anatomy geeks. But again, we make it fun for you so that you understand the application of the anatomy, what stops some of our clients from producing optimal rotation. And more importantly, then we'll teach you how to use these concepts, this anatomical knowledge, a little bit of biomechanics, a little bit of motor control to help your clients, for you to help them or help you assess your clients, use the best and most appropriate corrective exercises, and how to integrate this information into functional patterns to improve hip, trunk, and spine rotation so you can help your clients improve their balance. Because again, balance is really just control of rotation. Walking is just control of balance, control of rotation. Running and or your rotational type sports. So the link is in the bio. So if you'd love to join us, it's in 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays from yesterday. And we would love to see you. It's a great community of like-minded individuals who are just looking to up-level their knowledge and skill set and really just support each other. So if you got a bad attitude, don't come. You can come, just don't mess up the community. It's really a great community. And yeah, we would love for people to come and challenge us in a respectful manner. So love to see you. 2 weeks, link is in the bio or link is below this video, wherever you're watching it. Two Anatomy Geeks, the anatomy of rotation. We'd love to see you. And again, thanks for all you do. Thanks for being part of our community, allowing us to be part of your community. Get out there, lead, be the light for those clients who need to find you and those clients who are already in your community. And I know most of you are already doing that. This is Dr. Evan Osar. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you this spring as well, so stay tuned, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Happy Sunday. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.